everybody, this is Jennifer. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a reading catch-up on the books I have finished recently and the books that I'm currently reading and will soon be reading. I've finished 4 books since the last time we talked, so I'll go ahead and start with those. The first thing I finished was Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Dillard. I really enjoyed this book. I think it's really well written and it's well thought out and it's well paced, and themes keep up like throughout the entire book and they don't just like drop off at the end of every like chapter or anything. There's some very interesting things in here. It's not like an all-time favorite, but it's really good. So I ended up giving that 4 stars. The next thing I read was The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This was the follow-up to The Poppy War, which I read last year, and I really loved this. I ended up giving it 5 stars. At first that was kind of iffy. It was probably going to be 4 stars around the middle of the book, but in the end I think the end came out really well, and I was a little like iffy about she's just not very active, and she's just letting things go when she should not be, and it was annoying me a little, but in the end it got where it needed to go, and the 3rd book is going to be out later this year, and I'm really excited for that. Okay, so the thing I read after that was a reread. It was 5 stars. It was Fox Gambit by Yoon, and this is a sci-fi novel about the Hex Circuit, and there's 6 factions, and they each have a leader, and this is where the governing comes from. So the universe in here runs off of a mathematical system and a calendar, and all of their weapons and all of their systems runs off of the calendar and relies on the people following the calendar. So they deal very harshly with heretics. And so one of the calendar like fortresses gets taken over by heretics, and they have to send Akel, which is the military faction. They have to send one of their captains, and Kelteris, is basically like not possessed exactly because she's still in charge, but she has like the ghost of a dead murderous general planted in her subconscious, and he helps her go against these heretics. So basically that's the story of that. I definitely got a lot out of a reread on this one. Once you get used to the systems, it's easy to follow, but when you're originally reading it, sometimes you gotta figure out how it works. And having been through the entire series and now revisiting it, I found it really successful and I enjoyed it a lot. What I did not enjoy all that much, which is sad, is Don't Panic, Douglas Adams and the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Neil Gaiman. It was fine. It's 3 stars, but I don't understand how a book that's written by my favorite author about one of my other favorite writers and one of my favorite book series can be boring. At like 70%, I was kind of like wanting it to be over, and that was disappointing. I don't know. Informative, it just didn't have any of the personality that I kind of wanted. At least that's the way that was my reading of it. Anyway, yeah, it was fine, but it just wasn't anything special, which is disappointing. So yeah, those are the 4 books that I finished reading in the last 2 weeks. Right now I am still currently on The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. I am 47% of the way done. I just finished chapter 5, and I'm not overly excited to get back with chapter 6, but I'm going to. I did find myself a good, I found myself a good ebook copy. Well, not a great ebook copy, but a decent ebook copy, and a study companion thing, which I'm going to be looking at. Not too much though, because the descriptions are like spoiling things, so I'm trying to like balance that out. Another thing that annoyed me about this, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to be ranting about this. I got the English version translated from the German. However, there's a lot of dialogue, especially at the end of chapter 5, that's in French, and the French is not translated. French is not translated, so I'm like, I have a few years of high school and college French behind me, but still, it's like, it's been ages since I've had to use it, and I had to look up so much stuff. It took me forever. One of the few pet peeves I have about this particular translation, but we're going ahead. Also, I am reading Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. This was off my sooner rather than later TBR, and I just kept eyeing it, and eventually I had to just pick it up and start reading it. I'm still in the beginning, like on the first 50 pages. Yeah, so far all I've read about are some useless dudes and the women who have to sell themselves in order to make up for their lack, and that's annoying. But there's definitely way more to the book than that. I just haven't gotten very far into it, and those are the two things that stick out to me so far in my reading of Crime and Punishment. Also, I'm going to do myself a favor and not look too hard at the cover detail right here, because I counted the fingers, and there's 10 if you count the thumb tucked behind his other thumb here, but it looks like he's got like 20 fingers, and it's weird looking. But yeah, so far so good with that one. And then I am on audiobook, and on ebook I am listening to the follow-up to Fox Gambit, which is Raven Stratagem by Yoon, and that picks up where the first book leaves off. Coming up, well, you know, I hate to start new stuff when I'm got like four books going on, but I do think I want to read Binti Home, the second book in the Binti novella series by Nnedi Okorafor soon, and in 2 days, False Value, the 8th Rivers of London book by Ben Aronovich comes out, and I will be reading that pretty much as soon as it hits my Kindle. So yeah, that's gonna be happening, and I really need to start chapter 6. I really hope my reading picks up at the Magic Mountain so far, because this picks up from how it's been so far, because I don't know how much longer I can put onto this one, because I'm like almost halfway there and I just really want to give up, but I'm not going to. Anyhow, so yeah, mostly successful reading. Please let me know what you're reading in the comments below. Feel free to like and comment on the video, and I think that's it, you guys. Have a nice day. Bye.